Climbing 10-storied building? There is no lift in your building? What happened to the same child who was running up and down 5-6 times during the day? Now he is reluctant to go up and down even once. His lungs have stopped cooperating. The same lungs which were cooperating with that child when he was young have stopped cooperating when he has advanced in age.
We learn about life through questions.
How do we shed our desires?
Should a leader try to change such people?
Insecurities start anytime, anywhere, any age.
Their conduct has to be as per their profession.
Does it mean that the family values are somewhere on the downfall?
To answer some of these, Mr. Praveen Mankar, founder of Pratibimb Charitable Trust, brings to you Face to Face. This week we are talking about breath, the wind of life.
जिंदगी को हर समय हर वक्त अर्पण चाहिए, मौत को कुछ नहीं बस एक धड़कन चाहिए. If you woke up breathing, congratulations, you have another chance. So we say breath is life, but yet we never focus on our breathing. So what would you like to say about that?
That's the whole problem. We don't talk enough of breath.
Yeah.
We don't at all talk about breath. We go through schools, colleges, acquire degrees, go through training programs, go through our businesses or employments, we retire, and yet nobody talks about breath. And that's the first thing we learn as we are born. The first interaction of any human being on earth is with his breath. And yet we don't devote enough time on breath, either talking, learning, practicing, nothing. Breath is the most neglected subject and the closest subject to our heart.
And taken for granted, it's just happening.
Yes,
so
it's
yeah.
happening. So what's the big deal?
What's the big deal?
And it's so easy to do. All that I have to do is just go on doing whatever I'm doing and not pay attention, and still I continue breathing. So why should I pay attention to breathing? So there is a sense of disdain in the human psyche when it comes to breath.
Then very often when we are under stress or in a stressful situation, we hear people say, relax, take a deep breath. So what exactly are we?
So if you stick out your foot and look at the small toe, how many times you pay attention to that small toe? Hardly.
Yeah, never probably.
Some of us even don't pay attention to the toe when we are having bath. We don't even bend down to rub the toe. We will rub the toe with other foot.
Yeah.
So we don't pay attention to the toe at all. When do we pay attention to the toe? If I have banged it against something, or if there is a thorn in my toe, that is the time I am paying attention to that particular toe. Otherwise, it is an appendage which is supposed to be there. It's supposed to do whatever it is supposed to do. I don't even know what it is supposed to do. So only when something gives you trouble, then you pay attention. Only when I have asthma and I am struggling to breathe, I pay attention to breath.
Absolutely.
Only when I need a puff to be able to breathe properly, I pay attention to breath. Otherwise, breath, what's the big deal? And the person who is gasping for breath, he is battling with life.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it is as serious as that. You are dealing with life, breath by breath, and yet breath is not important for you, which is the amazing part of the human psyche.
So true. Then we hear of this term breath control. So what are we really talking about? How does it help when people say,
I don't know.
There is this term called breath
Anywhere
control?
you talk about control, it seems to me a sort of manipulation.
It's not something natural.
Control is not natural. You breathe well or you don't breathe well. Where is the question of control? You hold your breath if you are underwater. That is control. Because underwater you are not able to breathe. So if you are talking of breath control because the environment is not conducive or because there are toxic fumes in the environment and you want to get out of that situation, you control your breath. You breathe well or you don't breathe well.
So what according to you is breathing well or not breathing well?
You are endowed with a pair of lungs, the collective capacity of which is roughly 5.5 to 6 liters. In the ordinary course of breathing, an average adult takes 500 ml, half a liter of air. Where is 5.5 liters or 6 liters and where is half a liter? So you are not even using 10% of your lungs in your day-to-day normal breathing. It is like saying that I am earning 6 lakhs of salary per month, but I am not spending even 50,000 of that. Or I don't have capability of spending more than 50,000 of that. So what are you doing with 5.5 lakhs of rupees per month? So I am just hoarding them. So they become your non-performing asset.
True.
Using a banking terminology. So your lungs, 90% of your lungs are non-performing assets, assets given to you by the universe, but you don't have the sense or the capability of using it. So you are actually discarding a gift given to you by the universe.
But what happens when we are not utilizing them to their full capacity?
So why has God given you lungs with 6 liters capacity? So that you take in air,
Sufficient air.
which is 21% oxygen, 79% nitrogen. Now, if you are taking only 500 ml of air, 21% is roughly 100 ml of oxygen. Now, 100 ml of oxygen vis-a-vis your lung capacity of 5.5 liters.
6 liters.
So, you are not taking sufficient oxygen. Now, why do I need oxygen? I need oxygen for purification of blood. What is there in the blood to be purified? There are impurities in the blood which need to be burnt. The end product of burning is carbon dioxide, which we exhale out. Now, if I am taking less oxygen, then I am burning less impurities and then I am exhaling less carbon dioxide, which means a large portion of impurities continue to circulate in my blood because they are not burnt. When these impurities keep on circulating in the blood, two things happen. They start depositing on the inner walls of the blood vessels, the arteries and veins. And they also start depositing in various organs where blood is supplied, which is almost everywhere in the body. Now, when the impurities start depositing, the arteries and veins start narrowing. And when they deposit in the organs of the body, the normal functioning of the cells of the organs starts deteriorating. And you will see that distinctly in advanced aged people. When they say organ shutdown has set in. So, what is the meaning of organ shutdown? Your heart output starts reducing. Eject fraction, which should have been 40-50%, is now 35, 30, 25, 20%, 15%. Then you are in a critical stage, a danger zone. So, you will hear in advanced age people, the doctors or the medical fraternity saying, organ shutdown has set in. So, it's now only a matter of time. What has happened? The impurities have started damaging your functions, reducing their capability and inviting your termination much earlier than what should have been. Had you been trained in the art of breathing, this factor of inviting premature death would have been postponed. So, why breathe well? So that you stay healthy, so that you burn more impurities, so that your organs function at a high level of efficiency.
Okay. So, is it enough to do pranayam or there are special techniques for breathing? Are there special exercises, breathing exercises?
To make it simple, you inhale more, you exhale more.
Okay.
Now, it is very easily said, inhale more, exhale more. How to inhale more, how to exhale more? There are techniques, there are postures, there are ways of inhaling, there are ways of exhaling that increases your lung capacity. Crux of the issue is increase your inhalation, increase your exhalation. Now, if I am breathing 500 ml of air per breath, suppose I increase that to 550 ml. Let's take a statistical figure, for example. Straight away I have increased my lung capacity by 10%. Just 50 ml. What is 50 ml? Insignificant, nothing. But by increasing 50 ml of my intake and exhalation, I have increased my lung capacity by 10%. Suppose I inhale 50 ml more and I exhale 50 ml more. So, overall my lung capacity has increased by 100 ml. 100 ml over 500 ml is a 20% increase. So by a small increase in inhalation and a small increase in exhalation, I have enhanced my lung capacity by 20%. Doesn't matter what technique you follow.
Okay.
Doesn't matter who teaches you how to breathe.
As long as you utilize.
You have
and
increased your lung capacity. Now, the problem is like you go to a gym. I go regularly to a gym for 2 months and I develop my biceps. And then for 3 months I don't go to the gym. What happens to those biceps? They again deflate.
Yes.
So if I have to come back to that position, I have to again go to the gym.
Yes.
So if I do breathing exercises which enhances my lung capacity, and now from 500 ml it has become 600 ml. And then I stop my breathing exercises, my lungs again collapse to 500 ml. The corollary to this is, how can you make such a definitive statement? Very simple. As a young kid who used to play in the summer vacation, running up and down tall buildings, I would be panting, yes, but I could do that multiple times.
Yes.
I would take a short 10-minute, 5-minute break, maybe have a drink of water, and I am ready to run up and down once again. Today, at the age of 50, 60, 70, if you ask me to climb even once, climbing 10-storied building, there is no lift in your building. What happened to the same child who was running up and down 5-6 times during the day? Now he is reluctant to go up and down even once. His lungs have stopped cooperating. The same lungs which were cooperating with that child when he was young have stopped cooperating when he has advanced in age. Why have they stopped cooperating? Because he never took care of his lungs. The strength of the lungs has reduced. Just like your physical strength reduces when you don't do physical work. As you start becoming more and more comfortable in life, you tend to eliminate some of the physical activities that you used to do, either through compulsion or as a necessity.
I think that's the reason you see there are very many out there already touching age of 100 and they are active and up and above, and they always say that the more active you remain, your whole body is in good shape, and
Yes.
Yes.
The more active you are, the more breathing you do, the more oxygen you take, the more purification happens, and you stay healthy. That's the clear indication and proof of good health. People who are active throughout their lives are less susceptible to diseases and are prone to live a happy and a healthy life.
Does breathing help in the so-called immunity of your body? Building the immunity of your body?
What is immunity? Immunity is the ability of your body to resist foreign invasion.
Invasion, yes.
Yeah, it's like an army invading you and you have sufficient soldiers
strength to fight it back.
To fight the enemy who is invading. So when the bacteria is invading your body, you have your blood cells capable of resisting or combating the foreign substances. You are immune. When your internal resources fall short of combating the external invasion, that's when you need external support. I need an antibiotic to combat a bacterial invasion. Why? Because my body does not have the strength to combat this external attack. Why does my body not have the strength? Because I have never taken care to build an army.
So apart from all the things that you hear, that you eat Chyawanprash and you eat nutritious food and you do all of that, so exercise regularly, so even breathing.
Tell me, did my grandfather ever hear of a word called Chyawanprash?
I don't think so. Yeah.
So these are all marketing gimmicks for promotion and commerce. Even today in villages, people eat simple food. They don't have access to these brilliantly packaged fancy foods and supplements. It tells you a clear story that those guys who are compelled to struggle in life, they are keeping their bodies active. And it is that activity which enables them to breathe well and which enables them to build up their immunity.
Breathe, let go, and remind yourself that this very moment is the only one you have for sure.
If you have some questions about life, please connect with us. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and press the bell icon for weekly updates.